Um, Brother, what's your name again, bro?
King Leon X,
Okay.
KLX, the unapologetic black voice of America,
Okay.
So how I do, and when I introduce myself always, which now in 2017, I'm going to not having to say that because it kind of goes through my pores. But when I introduce myself, I always make it known vocally that I put the black woman, black child, black family first because I'm a black man. You know what I mean? So black lives matter most to me. And in that, just vocalizing that makes our brothers, our family uncomfortable. This is what I see. This is what I realize. How does it make someone uncomfortable to see a black man who puts his woman and child first? You see, and vocalizes that uncompromisingly. So that's who I am. I blacktivist, creative artist, author, revolutionary black nationalist, and just a committed person to the plight of black people, black African, new Africans, whatever we like to call ourselves.
So, brother, let me ask you a question. Ask a question to everybody who's on the project.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of what it is we're doing. If you can envision an independent, self-sustaining, self-protecting black community, free of the strangleholds of the system of white supremacy, free of any of the policies, free of any of the red tape, free of any of the obstacles that have been placed in the way of our progress, as a people, what would that look like to you?
That's a multi-layered question.
Well, really a multi-layered answer.
And so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to use this moment to share what I discovered based on my study when I start asking myself similar questions. Because as a solution provider, results-oriented, results-driven person, I like to stay in the realm of what specific results are expected of us. What specific results do we intend to get? And then how can we organize plans, strategies, tactics, and processes around that? And then to begin to implement it. Because knowledge and strategy has been there before all of us have been alive, right? We could do a whole documentary naming the elders who had the strategy to get there. Where I'm focused on is execution. So for your question, you're asking me, this is fully executed, like our plan's fully executed. What does that look like?
Yes, sir.
First, to me, the first thing, it's a bill-less society, a bill-free environment for our women and children. Number one, in the sense where the black man has finally taken back his natural role as a producer, protector, provider, and therefore, when we say bill-free society, we're not talking about an environment where our women, or where we're not using the idea of money to exchange for other ideas called values, services, and products. We still recognizing money as the use that it has, because there's nothing can take the place of money in the area money's used. Mm-hmm. So, but being able to be in a position that whatever resources that we're drawing on, whatever nations that we're dealing with and trading with for resources and things like that, that we're able to pay or deal or negotiate years out. So it's like, boom, we're going to use this product or this service. We're using y'all's service for 2-3 years. Boom, here's this lump sum. So this whole 2-3 year period, our women and children aren't focused on bills, shelter, and these other things that get their mind off self-mastery. So the number one thing in a type of environment where you say is no more black compliance, because I every time someone says white supremacy, I always like to say black compliance, because there's no white supremacy without black compliance. So therefore, us taking back our righteous place, then our women and children have the time and freedom to determine their own destiny, which is to turn inward and get back to understanding that the whole purpose of life is living, is actual life. So what it actually looks like and what it feels like is sound health. You know what I mean? It looks and feels like peace of mind. You know what I mean? It looks and feels like freedom from fear and freedom from worry. It looks like hope for future achievement. It looks like capacity for applied faith. That state of mind where our children, and where we know our confidence has been restored as black men, so then we know that we could turn our ideas into physical things. We know that us as comrades, we could count on each other, your skill set, my skill set, raw skill set, our powers combined, like a Captain Planet type of thing. That's what it looked like, for me. But I'm real adamant about us as black men taking back that natural role. So then we could be able to, the divine feminine will be back, and she could start doing these things that we're even unaware that the black woman does. And that is, but she can't be herself fully because she got to take on a lot of the roles that we have a history of neglecting. So what it looks like, beyond the bill free, and the bill free is just like, yeah, we put ourselves in a position where, hey, 2 years in advance, like we'll holler at you in the 24 months to see if we still want these services, these types of things. So during the time, because I believe that we could still have independent nationhood, still leveraging the lines, since we know lines and water lines, and leveraging other people's pipes or even things that our ancestors laid, but other people manage or control. I'm not necessarily too much worried about black supremacy in the sense of like being a dictator over the rest of the world, but like how you were explaining earlier, being able to operate and move from a power, from a place of power. Like, this is who we have, this is what we are, and we are protecting this with our essence. We are birthing babies with intentions to fulfill certain purposes. And so the same type of respect that any other nation commands at the United Nations, right, in the League of Nations, the same type of respect that any other, president or ambassadors would have, the same type of other accesses to resources and pipes and factories, manufacturing, import, export, trade, all these types of things. These are the types of things that we have to be taken seriously as blacks born in America. So that's what that looks like. And then also, and that's the only time that I believe that we could focus on the eradication of human suffering, right? Because is that possible? Like, is it possible to be transformed from the center where certain things that affect us now will no longer affect us? Is it because I know that when I was a level 2 type person, I had a level 5 problem. It was a major problem. It was a huge problem to me. But when I turned inward, I became a level 5 person. That same level 5 problem, it met me head on. It didn't seem like that much of a big of a deal. Now I'm becoming a level 6, level 7, level 8. Intending to become a level 10 type of person. Christ consciousness, enlightenment, self mastery, complete self discipline. Right. As I become that type of person, that same level 5 problem, not even a problem at all. It's just something that we go through. And so this is the direction I believe that we're headed, because all white people could die tomorrow and we could have an independent black nation tomorrow. But we still have to deal with the ills and the psychological, emotional damages and trauma that have imposed on us. And so we as leaders have to have the funnel set up to put people in, like how Neely Fuller was saying, there's these 9 areas of people activity. We should be organized enough as leaders to meet people where they're at and figure out their talents and skills and their potential and help them, guide and assist them in figuring out which area they can feel the most confident, most comfortable, the most productive. We find a lot of times trying to get people to be great in their weaknesses while we neglecting their strengths. We could just focus on our strengths and they just focus on that and they could be the greatest ever. But, they're so worried about trying to mend these weaknesses that they can't even focus on their strengths. So it just looks like teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work. There's a lot of different strategies of how we get to that place. I believe in black nationalism, African internationalism, or Pan-African type of perspective is what's necessary in order to create the type of culture and honor